Hello again guys, welcome to this third video in this series, creating PHP MySQL Server 500 application. What we did in the last video was we completed our sign up process, and we are going to complete our login process in this video. In the last video we completed all these codes for sign up, so we want to change this a little bit. We want to add a this part in this application, in this activity actually. And then initialize it here, somewhere around here. Okay, p dialog and then p dialog dot set message registering user. Please wait. Okay, p dialog dot set indeterminate. And this stays false. And then finally, what we're going to do is we're going to start our progress dialog from here. When our button is clicked, and then it ends here when we get a response, or when the sign up is also not completed, or even when the application could not be connected to the server, or when there is no internet connection. So this is over. Now what we need to do is we need to implement a new activity for our login. Okay, let me use this main activity for login because this is empty. Here we haven't done anything here, so let's keep in linear layout, and then okay, let me go ahead and create an edit text here. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to stay with the basics. A wrap content, an ID, edit, username, hint, enter username, and then a margin, almost 10 dp, right? So my second parameter is going to be my edit text again. Let me copy this real quick. The second parameter is going to be my edit password. Okay, I'm working in linear layout, so I have to give an orientation here. Okay, my second parameter is going to be my edit password and a hint with enter password. I already have an ID. Okay, and the third parameter is going to be a button, wrap content, which has an ID of btn login, and the text has login. Also, I want to introduce a place to go to sign up screen, so let me add this. Sign up, and text is sign up. So our work is complete here. Now what we need to do is we need to go to main activity and then introduce our components here. We have an edit text for username and password, and we have two buttons for login and sign up. Again, we need a progress dialog here. We're going to keep it dialog, and that's it. And also a request queue for volley. Okay, I guess this is it. Now we're going to initialize each of our objects we created as a global object for this class. Edit username. Also we have our second parameter, add edit password, and then we have a button which we have named login. Just follow me in these steps. These are basic steps, you already know about this. Okay, let me check this ID real quick. btn sign up and btn login. Okay, it's done. So initialize our p dialog here. Also initialize your request queue. We need a context here. Alright, so let's place clicks in these two buttons. So what we're going to do in sign up is we are going to start a new intent to our registered activity class, and what we're going to do in login is we are going to compare our inserted credentials to the one with the database and compare if we have successfully logged in or not. So for that, let's go to our WAMP and our www directory. So my scripts were saved in this folder, and go ahead and create a new file here again, login.php. Yes, and open this with Sublime Text. Again guys, you'll have this code for you to download in the link below. So what we have done here is we have initialized, we require a config.php page here because it contains all of our credentials like php myadmin username, password, database name, and a host. So what we have done basically here is we have created a form for our login activity in web, and then what we have done here is we have used our query. We have given our value here and we have executed the query. So as per the value there, we have compared our credential, and then we have two kinds of responses here, either this or this. So let's save this file and then open our open our login module. Okay, this is our form. So let me check my database real quick for a value. Okay, it's web server database, and in a user table we have these three values here. So let's go ahead and test with these parameters. All right, so the first username will be test and the second username will be test, and if you press login you get this response. So based on this you can know uh, if you have logged in successfully in your Android application or not. Also, let me do this real quick. The username shall be test, and I'm going to give a random value here. All right, randomly, and press login. So see, previously it was success equals to 1 and message equals to login successful. So if you insert a wrong value, the second response works for you here. So based on this you can know if you have successfully logged in your application or not. So let's move on and then do some work in our login button click. So let's create a string here to the user. We're first going to prepare our value that we need to send to that URL. String pass equals to password dot get text, sorry, get text dot to string. Okay, we also need a URL here, so let's move up and insert a URL. Okay, I don't remember the IP address, so let's check this in register activity. So here we have our URL. We need to change this register.php to login.php. Also, I'm not sure about this value here, so I'm going to check it in my command prompt. Okay, it's 192.168.100.5. okay, this value is okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a string request equals to new string request, give out the 4 parameters that we need. The first parameter is request dot method dot post, second is URL, third is our response listener, and the fourth is our error listener. Also, we need to insert some parameters here, so move down here and then open a curly bracket and close it, and just below, after closing the curly bracket, give a semicolon. Okay, inside this we need a get params method. Create a map type variable. A key and value are both going to be in string. My params equals to new hash map. Okay, we first need to bind these two values, user and pass, in our params here. So our key is going to be username, which is actually the name represented in the form which we just created using those PHP codes. The value is going to be user. It's password and the value is going to be pass. Right, so let's make these two final again. So we have already bound these variables. What we're going to do is we are going to return my params from here. Now what we need to do is we need to check what kind of response we get when we press the login button in our form. So anything we get comes in this string variable. All right, so we can go ahead and compare here. If response dot contains 1, if you clearly remember, we got a success message of 1, success value of 1 if we logged in successfully, and a success value of 0 if the login was failed. So we can compare if this string contains 1 or not. So if this string contains 1, we can if this string contains 1, we can show toast message here and then press login successful. We can show login successful message. Also guys, I missed the progress dialog. We need to start the progress dialog here and then end it here. Also, if the login is failed, we again need to close the progress dialog and then begin a toast message and assign login failed. Again, we need to assign a progress dialog dismiss here and then show a toast message. No internet connection if it is not connected to the server, if we do not get any response from the server. Alright, I think our job is done. We have a last point to do. We need to connect this request queue to our string request variable. So we're going to do it here. Request queue dot add string request. Alright. Okay, this is done. Let me check my sign up activity real quick. So what we have done here is we have shown a toast message when we successfully register our user. We are going to change this and we're going to start a new intent here to our login activity if we successfully signed up. Alright, this is done. So the last thing we need to do is we need to open our manifest file and then change our launcher activity to main activity and our default activity to register activity. Okay, let me run this real quick. In my emulator. Okay, it takes some time to load the emulator, so I'm going to pause the video for a while. So my application has already started. We are going to try our sign up first. So what we're going to put here is we're going to put test123 as our username and then test as our password. So press on register. So you can see that we came back to our main activity, so the sign up has become successful. So I can try it using login here, test123 and then test. So the login is successful. Okay, we successfully implemented our login module 2 here. In the next video we are going to work further on this app, creating a new table and adding more values and reading them and showing them in our list view. Okay, thank you.